Hello again. Good afternoon, everyone, or good day, everyone. Earlier, we discussed the properties of real numbers and we stopped on the distributive property. It says that if we have A times the quantity B plus C, this is equal to A times B, that is, you multiply A with B, plus you multiply A with C. The other one would be distributivity over multiplication. That is, A plus B times C is the same as A times C plus B times C, which is this. Now, we also have what we call your identity properties. Identity property says that there exists an additive identity 0 such that when you add it to any real number, then you will have the same real number. To say, if you have A plus 0 is your unique real number, which is your additive identity, that is the same as 0 plus A, which is equal to A. You also have what we call your unique real number 1, such that when you multiply it to any real number, then you still get the same real number. And we call that your multiplicative identity. That is, A times 1 is the same as 1 times A, which is equal to A. And again, 0 is called your additive identity of the set of real numbers, and 1 is called the multiplicative identity of R. So we have also what you call your inverse properties. Inverse property says that for each A element of R, there exists a unique element negative A of R, such that when you add negative A to A, you come up with 0. Or if you add negative A plus A, you come up with 0. For example, if your A is 5, then 5 plus the negative of 5 is equal to 0. So the inverse of 5 is negative 5. For each A element of R, A not equal to 0, there exists a unique element 1 over A of R, such that when you multiply 1 over A to A, you come up with 1. So this unique element is called your multiplicative inverse. A should not be equal to 0 to have a multiplicative inverse. So negative A is called the additive inverse of A, and 1 over A is called the multiplicative inverse of A. So for example, if your A is 5, then its unique multiplicative inverse is 1 over 5. If you have, because 5 times 1 over 5 will actually give you 1. If you have 1 over 5, or say 1 over 6 as your value, then your multiplicative identity for 1 over 6 is 6, because 1 over 6 times 6 will give you 1. So let's talk about the absolute value of a real number. The absolute value of a real number, denoted by this one, is B if B is greater than or equal to 0, and negative B if B is less than 0. For example, we have the absolute value of 2, because it's greater than 0, then that's the same as 2. The absolute value of negative 3, because that's less than 0, then you come up with the negative of negative 3. So that should give us positive 3. As for the properties of absolute value, we have, if you take the absolute value of A times B, that's the same as absolute value of A times the absolute value of B. So you can actually take individually its absolute value. Number 2, the absolute value of A over the absolute value of B is equal to absolute value of A over, you can individually take the absolute value as long as B is not equal to 0.